Okay, today we're walking inside of a mid-century house that I am doing an estate sale for, and I wanted to kind of give you a shot. It's a really interesting house. It really just screams mid-century, modern, all over. Even the furniture, which has not really been, I think it's the same furniture that was here when they moved into the house. Probably from the 70s, I'm thinking. Maybe early 80s, but probably the 70s. There's a lot of things like Yadro figurines, and this fireplace really just screams mid-century, really. Even the lamps. And so we're going to go around here and take a look. We'll go down the hallway here. This I thought was interesting. Is a whole uncut sheet of $2 bills. Oh, here's a whole uncut sheet of $1 bills. Now, a lot of the furniture and things have been moved to make way for the sale. But in here, you can see they have the furniture probably from the 70s or 80s. There's an armoire. It's full of clothes, too. The lights, even. Okay, inside this room was probably supposed to be like an office or something. It could be used as a bedroom. It has a closet, but it has this doorway goes into the dining room, which you would not normally see in a bedroom. So I'm thinking it could have been a multi-use kind of a room. You could do what you wanted with it, sort of thing. This was not part of this estate. One of the owners of the estate, they came and they brought their Atari 800 computer here and all the accessories that go with it. And the thing works, I plugged into the TV and it seemed to work fine. That's not an original, that's a newer lava lamp there. That's a newer record player. All right, let's go down into the other rooms, even the bathroom. I mean, this is for, I'm not sure where you're from, but in the Midwest, at least in Michigan, I know this tile was very popular. It's a ceramic tile, and they had some nice accessories that went with it too. This one happened to be in gray, which I'd not seen before. Usually they're like, and I'll show you the other bathroom, usually like a brown or a peach or like a light blue color. There's another bedroom. Still pretty much as it was. Even the curtains, they have the old pleated curtains on the top. They're pleated on the top. And here's another bedroom too. They have these shoe, I guess like a shoe tree. And of course the furniture, the decor. And I found one of these clocks. These are actually pretty hot right now. It's one of these digital clocks. And to tell the time, like you would, there's like little cards that go by. This is how you'd set the time on it and it would run. And the numbers would just kind of flip over like that. I had one like this, I have to say. This one actually would pick up TV as well. So you could wake up, either tune it to the TV station before you go to bed, or FM or AM, right? All in one unit. Santa bears. Lots of Santa bears. All right, we're gonna go down, or go over to the dining room next. Okay, and here's what came out of some of the cabinets, some little decor, little fancy little trinkets and things, and really nice set of dishes are in here. I know most people are not buying dishes anymore. It's too bad. We have a whole set of Noritake china for 16, a setting for 16 people, and then some crystal stemware in there as well. Okay, let's check out the kitchen. Now my wife pointed this one out to me here. The light up here is very cool. It's kind of looks like a couple of spaceships or flying saucers all strung together. It just has that very cool like 70s or 60s look to it. And here's a table, probably from the same era. Has like the colonial looking chairs. Yep, in this room, this is a patio that was enclosed, and you can, I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can get closer to the eagle up here. A lot of houses that had like a colonial look to them would have one of these eagles, and there was more. This was a fireplace, I believe, at one time, and they bricked it in. And there was another, like a cowl that went over the fire pit itself, or maybe down here was underneath here might be the fireplace, but the smoke would go up into that chimney and go outside. And we actually took this. It was all solid copper, sheet copper, and we took it to the scrapyard. Actually, we got $107 just for that. So that will go into the estate as well. And then some furniture. These lamps are kind of Tiffany style lamps. And then this is also popular to put like these window, I want to say like clings, almost like probably maybe they're adhesive, make it look like stained glass inside of your house. All right, let's go around to the kitchen. And we found some Pyrex. We found one piece of Fire King as well. Too bad it wasn't more of that. Yep, there's corn flour back there. You always find those. Yeah, they're not worth $500, by the way. It's a nice set of dishes. Nice set of dishes here, bowls, old Farberware. Yeah, these things never go bad. I mean, the only thing I've ever seen happen is that this handle sometimes will come off, but not that often. There's a very cool flour and sugar canister set back there. Yep, and they took very good care of their stuff. You can tell this is very well maintained. So we're going to go downstairs next. Now this is a very typical mid-century basement. It reminds me of my parents, and they would put this knotty pine paneling. It must have been available everywhere, but this paneling is solid wood. It's probably, well, it might be 1/4 to 1/8 inch. It looks pretty thick. But this place just screams mid-century here. And we found this old trunk here. That's pretty neat. That was kind of a later thing. And then I have a video where actually using this Tudor electric horse racing game. It was pretty fun. There's a thing whole vibrates here, and the horses will go in a circle and try to win. Maybe put money on the thing. I don't know. There's all kinds of decor here. These vintage speakers here. Let's see, what brand were these? These are, Fisher, typical Fisher speakers here. All kinds of albums. I mean, a lot of times we'll find like these show tune ones and all that. But then we actually found some like classic rock ones. Let's see what's in here. Here's a Fleetwood Mac album. Down here, it's Rumors. Yeah, there's Rumors right there. All kinds of them. All in pretty good shape. The covers a lot of times are what sells those. And in here is just some Christmas things. Nothing really screaming mid-century modern in here. Maybe this. We did find a cool table too that all the albums are sitting on. And it's got these legs that you don't find that anymore. This thing is solid wood. It does have a laminate over it, but the thing is solid wood. It's very heavy to pick up. And like I guess everyone had to have a tiki bar. You know, we actually had the grass in the ceiling, but this one doesn't have it. They just built the whole thing out. Very cool bar. It came with this pinball machine. It's already gotten sold. I'm going to turn some light on in here too so you can see better. Okay, and this was kind of cool. I think I've seen these before. It's a giant bottle of Cutty Sark, and then you tip it over, and I guess you would pour out how much you want, like that. I don't know if that was at a bar or it's just something you would have at your house. Not too sure. The stereo, and behind the bar, you would have places to put all your either dishes or just for general storage. Glasses could go back here. And then they even built, this is cool, they actually built a back bar. And this one has the glasses stored up here. There's a spot for like champagne glasses and wine glasses and all kinds of things. There's storage down here. I mean, this is all made by hand. You know, someone had to cut all the wood out for this. You didn't buy this in the store. You know, someone had to come by and think of the plan and put it in action. Even the doors are made out of knotty pine. I really thought that was something. And they're solid. I mean, look how thick this is, solid wood here too. And that's just storage. There's some glasses and vases and things in there. Nothing exciting. And then they even thought to put in storage behind the back bar. Yeah, not a whole lot happening there, but about Great Lakes beer. You can collect the Great Lakes. I guess they only went to one brewery. Too bad. And let's see what we have going on in here. Oh yeah, the tool room. There weren't a whole lot of tools. This is not much. Usually we find these things just packed full of tools. You know, but this one had a moderate amount of tools, but there's some really old ones. This one is a Miller's Falls drill. You know, I started this thing up and it's like super powerful. You know, they don't make them like that anymore. And this, I think, is for cutting pipe or something along that line. I wasn't really too sure. Let's see. We got some old Craftsman. I think this is... This wasn't here. Oh, it's a saw. It's like a jigsaw in there. And once again, the paneling was so thick, they could actually use it as the wall material. So this is the back of the paneling here. And so I would say this is probably a good half inch or so.